Hey. Um, Working. Yes, okay. Let me turn off the additional window. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I'll start today like yesterday with some StackOverflow answering, possibly. I already saw this question, which we might be able to answer. This time I was looking on the CMake tag and not C++. So I'm not sure what Wix is in this context, but I think it is not relevant. So they just do something with an installer. And then in the end, they end up with their user folder and not the actual user folder. And therefore, like, I think they just need to escape this. So I will see and try if I can make some screenshots from my current project and see if that's helpful for them or not. Yeah, so what was the last part? This username will not be recognized on the machine that is being installed since it does not exist. Sure. Machine, the installer was generated, not the current one. Why is this happening? Because it is stored as an installation path. I don't know how to tell Wix to take the current user of the machine where the installer is running to generate the installation path. So let's look into that. Like the first thing definitely is that when doing an when doing an install of anything, then whatever you add here will be evaluated directly, if not set in a different way, right? So if they just set these variables, that should be evaluated in that moment and therefore be the current user. So let's just see if that's true. I think it's like this. Let's see. Right, and then okay, so that is what I expected to be. I don't have those variables, so that will be directly evaluated. So giving that information to them, I think, is already a step forward. But maybe we can also look into why what Wix actually does and how to do the current user thing. So let's Google that. Wix CMake C Stack example. Okay, so let's see what it does. CPAC, Wix generator, specific options. Okay. Following variables are specific to the installer on Windows using Wix. Do we know which platform they use? But I guess it's Windows if it's a path in like this shape or this structure. Oh, by the way, I got the Doom record yesterday, so I'll definitely listen at least once to the entire thing today. Upgrade GUID will be automatically generated unless explicitly provided. It should be explicitly set to a constant generated global unique identifier. Okay. Product UID also automatically generated unless explicitly provided. So we don't need that, I think. An icon is nice. This variable allows you to override the ID of UI ref element in the Wix template. Okay. Some banner, dialog, program menu folder, start menu folder name for launcher. Okay, that should also be not interesting. Languages, template, optional list of XML files with fragments to be inserted into generated Wix sources. Interesting. This optional variable can be used to specify an XML file that the Wix generator will use to inject fragments into the generated source files. So I wonder if this is like the Wix website thing or something else. Maybe I should research that also to have a better context on what is happening. But yeah, I guess this patching is just adjusting the input given or the template or something. And like depending on what more information are here, maybe we don't even need to set up an actual example with their with Wix as a structure. Extra source files. This variable provides an optional list of extra Wix source files. Okay. Objects. A list of additional extensions for the Wix tool. Okay, I think that's all not helpful. If this variable is set, the generated installer will create an entry in the Windows registry. Okay. But they just wanted the install directory, right? Yes. I would guess that like this can just be relative or something like that. And there maybe can be a root folder. But let's see. Properties. This property variable can be used to provide a value for the Windows installer property. Okay. Is this done by property? No. The following list contains some example properties that can be used to customize information under program and features, also known as add or remove programs. Interesting. Help support, general information, update, help support, size. Root feature title. Sets the name of the root install feature in the Wix installer, same as cpeg component display name. Okay. cpeg root feature description. Okay, this is one of the things they noted. If the variable is set to true, the default install location of the generated package will be cpackage install directory directly. Okay. The install location will not be located relative to program files or program file 64. So let's already search for this. Variable cpack. And then continue. Okay, so the note. Installers created with this feature do not take differences between the system on which the installer is created and the system on which the installer might be used into account. It is therefore possible that the installer might try to install onto a drive that is unavailable or unintended, or a path that does not follow the localization or conventions on the system which the installation is performed. So this basically says that, like, the problem they have is directly stated there, right? So this, even though using the cpack, where is it here, installation directory, that will not be reusable. So let's continue reading, but I think the interesting thing will be what is made of this variable, because if this variable will still be some cmake stuff, just escaping it will be enough to later evaluate. But I guess it will be somehow bind into the Wix installer. So I think I do want to do this question now and look into it, even though I never used the Wix installer before, and just see if I can solve this. So let's further read the cpack documentation and then we'll see. I definitely already want this, so at least I can give them reference that this is actually how it works and why. And so they at least know, even if I don't find out how to solve their problem, that this cannot work the way they want to. Okay. Root folder ID. This variable allows specification of a custom root folder ID. The generator specific 64 token can be used for folder IDs that come in. Yes. Token will be expanded. Okay. When unset, generated installers will default installing to 64. Interesting. So I guess this is an alternative option to using the skip. So this is just bypassing directly to this parameter, while this is adjusting the ID, but I guess it's still located then in C and not as they wanted, I think in the user folder. So let's see what else there is. This variable can be optionally set to the root directory of a custom Wix toolset installation. When unspecified, cpack will try to locate a Wix toolset. installation via Wix environment variable instead. Interesting. So there are Wix environments, but I think toolset is something else. Definitely need to look into what Wix actually does. But let's read the last few and then we can do that. Custom XMLNS. Oh, let's actually turn the record real quick and then continue. Actually love the design of that Doom soundtrack. Like this red transparent look. It's really cool. Okay, so custom XML. This variable provides a list of custom namespace declarations that are necessary for using Wix extensions. I think this will also not help. UI extension will most likely be something similar. And we don't do any extension stuff. Architecture, also not helpful. So I guess those three are the interesting options. Maybe only those two. And then what I need to find out next is how Wix actually uses these paths that they get. Let's see if we have more here. Okay. Let me read real quick if there's anything helpful. Reading is over exaggerated, I think is the word. I'm just skipping through and see if something looks helpful. Okay. This is, I think, all just patch related. Okay. Okay, so let's see if this linked example is of any help. And let's see what they do here. Does this have a readme or something? No. I think we'll go this first. No, we read this, then that, and then that. So we had this, they referenced, where was it? They referenced this variable. So this, I think, is just standard CPAC, right? Installation directory on the target system. This may be used by some CPAC generators to create an installation directory. CMake 2.5 below the installation prefix. All installed elements will be put inside the directory. Okay. And then I wonder if I do this and set this, if this will like be somewhere in the installer, or if that will also be a step in between and only in the package installation step something gets created out of that. So let's see. So that is not present here. I'm not sure how the CPAC actually gets its variables. So maybe I should also look into that. Let's read this first and then continue with the other. Generator for binary installer and source packages. The CPAC module generates the configuration files. Okay, so they are separate. Now the question would be if I need to... Yeah, I think I need to add CPAC to get this right. This is an extension, I think, of CMake. And not like I normally just use the install features. And not actually build an installer with CPAC, but with another toolset. Okay, so let's be sure there are no CPAC files yet. Good. They are intended for use in subsequent run of CPAC program. Okay. Where they steer the generation of the installer or and source packages. That's fine. Depending on the generator, the module, right, module is the name, I think, in CMake and not extension. May also add 2 new build targets, package source. Okay. The generator binaries will contain all files that have been installed. Okay. And the duplicate commands. Note that the destination option of the install command must be relative. Yeah, that makes sense. Certain kinds of binaries, installers can be configured such that users can select individual application components to install. Okay. Source packages will contain all sources. Generator. I think this is then where the generator is weeks for the case we try to figure out. Let me again scan through this real quick instead of reading everything. That'll just be a little quicker. Okay. Okay. CMake is to run the CMake Ninja. Okay, those generators, right. So those that would also build the application. Before including the cpack module in your cmakeless.txt file, there are a variety of variables that can be set to customize the resulting installer. The most commonly used variables are name, vendor, directory. The directory in which cpack is going to is doing its packaging. Okay. Version, descriptions, homepage, file name, icon. The cpack time project cpack configuration file. This file is included in cpack time. Also not helpful. Variables for source package generators. That's not what we're doing. Advanced use. Also not helpful. Commands, scripts. Interesting. Okay. So let's still read that, but already open a search for this variable specifically. So cpack this variable user directory. This Stack Overflow name seems not very promising. Let me hide real quick to see what I downloaded. cpack variables. Okay, that's just the website as PDF. Where were we? Here, I think. cpack executable is a CMake packaging program. Yeah. Which installer? Okay, so generator, configs, variables, lot of things. Okay, so this is just the definition of options of the executable, which then has just a subset of all parameters, I think. Generating an installer using cmake cpack wix. How to generate wix installer with this. I'm generating an installer out from the project that uses Wix, but apparently cmake cpack insists to use something else. This is, I think, the name at the same site. Yes, okay. Target, install, set things, include packing. run it. Interesting to run it this way and not 3 years ago. Oh, it's old. And not run it over CMake directly, like building and installing. The generator. Yeah, they all just setting the generator. So I guess it would be hard to set up and test for myself because I don't have the Wix project or generator. This is the same. Okay. I've been frustrated with CMake CPEG for almost a week. Not documented. Okay, CPEG packaging prefix CMake install prefix of CPEG. This is interesting, but this variable does not work as the online documentation described. This is also old, so maybe nothing of that even works like this anymore. Let's see the answers anywhere real quick, just scanning through. Let's see what this was. Right, so let's do this real quick and see if that might help. You may use environment variable home to refer to the user's home directory. This is the same variable as here. No, this is the make package install directory. The make package install prefix. Okay, let's get this back. Directory install prefix. Below the installation prefix. So this shouldn't, this will only be a relative thing, right? And the installation prefix is what they actually should set, I think. But that one is not documented, which is great. Because now the question will be if it will be which of these prefixes. I guess it will be that or this prefix. Let's see. So they succeeded with this variable. So let's read it again, I guess. But first I'll switch the records. I just saw the related questions. Maybe they might be helpful with this. But let's read this. I didn't find any documentation to support this, but I did find some bug reports in email archives. Okay, so they suggest that the following is what you should be doing. CPAC set destination true. Do we have this in our CPAC? Sure not. But again, this is old post, so most likely this might not be up to date. Install prefix not set. It will default to CMake install prefix. Now, relative path from install will end up in CPAC. That makes sense. But this was also not documented. Okay. But I guess it's just working the same way as this, so maybe that's why it's not documented. The path used by the CPAC, taken from the install directive, allows the result package to mirror what a make install would do. Yeah, this is just the relative part and not helpful. You only want the relative path in the install direction. It will install relative CMake install prefix. You need to specify. Yeah, I think they don't get the question. So let's read those two. Are they also old? Yes, that's not good. Prefix. Different installation prefixes, different generators. Prefix opt. Star, okay. I had the package set destir flag set. This makes cpack append user local to the directory containing the binaries of the compilation. Interesting. I'm not sure what that means. Provide the minimal working example. Executable, install, generator, project config file. Okay. Package, CMake package, install prefix. So this was also what they mentioned. Question is why they use this. Maybe not use that because it's even older. So I would guess that this is the right thing to set. And then question still would be how to make that relative for the user. Let's keep reading. That's a lot to read. I'll again read through that quickly and then see if there's something helpful. So maybe I should already collect some information. See backdestier. Good. Like this should not be said. From which tab did I hear? Okay. Okay, and then from here, right? Also same source. And that can be used to set the installation route. Then also this. Oh, this is wrong. I want quotes. But then somewhere I read on what they do, right? Did I already close that tab? Where is this again? If this variable is set to true, the default install location of the generated package will be C package install directory directly. The install location will not be relatively below other things. So I would say that this should not be on, and this should not be used, as that will only change the directory, and we cannot have that fix. And then what should be changed and used would be the install prefix, and then we had this one source somewhere. That I hopefully will find again, where they had the example with the user input. Why did I close that? Let's see. Here it is. Okay, so I just was too far. User variable home to refer to the home directory. Let's see what the comments say. Pretty sure this does not work. The environment variable is evaluated at the time of the configuring. Yes, that is clear. But we could escape that. Different when you install the package, the data is installed to the wrong location. This would even occur when changing the user on the same machine. Yes. In CMake installation prefix is set when the project is configured. If the project is configured by one user and the installed by another user, then the question install the project into user home directory has no sense, as it does not specify the user which home directory is intended to be used as the installation. Can I link this answer? Guess like this. But also for the general CPAC way, it will not be evaluated. It will only be evaluated at configure time reference using this. Okay, let's keep reading. Because this currently reads as if it's just not possible, which I would find crazy, that you could not relatively install a C package. Let me scan through this quick again. Okay, so they also turn this off. I should read this. The most noticeable difference is that with this parameter, CPAC uses install prefix, where without it, where with it, it uses CMake install prefix. So we need without so that we can state this. So that's definitely a better source for this. I got that from here. Okay. Well, let me turn the record. That is, I should set this to an appropriate value. If I set it to a non-empty value, my project, no, the leading slash, CPAC will append this to files, install directory. Oh, that's different sentence, right. So CPAC will append this to program files, right, we know that. In turn, defaults to CPAC package name, CPAC package version. The full install path would be something like this. Yeah, so that would work. So in the end, this comes down to being a pure CPAC problem, I think, and not a Wix problem. Because this path is like in every generator, or used the same in every generator. CMake install prefix, this CMake install force, yes. Set that to false. Do I make that clear? should be set to false. cpack install installation directory, cpack install prefix. C for the generator, C package install directory may not contain the full path. So set cpack install directory, cmake install will not work. Seems to be empty by default, so the last line is redundant. Okay, so yeah, we're at the same point. The problem is that we cannot set an path that will be evaluated later on. The prefix is this cpack packaging install prefix, cpack packaging install prefix, right? So prefix used in the build package. Make generator has a default value, user. This default value may be overridden from the txt or the command line. This is not the same as cmake install, which used in cmake. But what should this, like, does this default to something useful for Windows? Toggle cmake use desti mechanism when packaging. Destination. It is common to use this by makefile users in order to install software at non-default location. It is a basic location mechanism that should not be used on Windows. Okay. So then this most likely be not helpful. Which will install the concerned software using the prefix. Yeah, so we want this, right? Let's scan through this real quick. Can I just change this to cpack? Maybe that actually does no longer exist. But all of this results in the question like Windows cpack portable install. No, portable wouldn't be fine. User install location. Let's just open a bunch of them and see. Did not want to do that. Okay. I think I will give this like half an hour and then I think I'll not try another question, but switch to Magic the Gathering Arena. Can I do user? User will see. Maybe I should rather search for this variable. Does not use the option during the install phase. Instead, it sets prefix. Okay. Therefore, projects that do not use the -d option must not use any absolute path. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's just meaning in the in these install commands. One other variable can be used to control the root path projects are installed to by this. By default, many of the generators install to user. That variable can be used to change that to any directory, including /dot. So maybe I should just try that. But then I don't have the Wix install generator. Is this free? After searching a while, I came across this documentation. Prevent file is the directory ID must be all uppercase characters because it must be passed from the UI to the executive something. Hi, Memphis, hi. I'll soon switch to Magic, as I would guess you are more interested in that than this. Like, I thought about maybe half an hour. Currently, I'm a little stuck in answering this question. Ah, I see, okay. Thanks for that. watching this mess. Hope you had a great day. Oh wait, no, for you it's morning, right? But then a good morning, I guess. PM. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, so this installation deal will not be too helpful. Yeah, this would be possible to get into, but then I would have to set up the whole Wix stuff, and then most likely get an account and all of that. Because this is like the patching of the installer, I guess. So with the patching, you could inject some other installation path. But I think that would extend what I could do without like spending some hours setting up Wix. So we'll skip that. And then just go through the last tabs and then see what the best answer I can come up with will be. And then I think we'll still post that. And if they don't like it, like they can downvote it, I guess. What is interesting though is that like this seems to be the default, right? So maybe if they read our answer and then try this out, it would be interesting what this default becomes for the Windows installer in combination with Wix. So maybe already add that here. So if the default of this variable, which should be, it's backslash user will already work, or if that does not apply for Windows. So we noted that. Maybe I should also copy all of this just in case. Okay, so we've gone through this, we've read that. And then let's read through this. Anyone stuck? Similar problem, solution. Again, not recommended. Is this even remotely related? How to pass install direction to project? No, this is just the configuration and build step, I think. So we can ignore that. Installer for Windows. Install dir. Let's see. Root should not be specified at the moment when the user executes the installer. My app install. Right, this is again not to use an absolute directory, but rather the relative, but that they already do. that is also not helpful. Okay. Set install your Windows 10 specific drive letter and path without spaces. So yeah, this is again the thing that we care for. But they again don't have the user directory. I think this is actually crazy that this seems to not work. Are you a programmer on your off time for work? Oh, well, let me switch the record and then answer that. So I'm actually a programmer at work. So I studied software engineering, and for the January I took free for vacation, I think is the correct word. And then for the vacation I wanted to try streaming, and that's why like for whole January I will be streaming with the under the week later, and then Friday and Sunday from the middle of the day. And then in February, when I will work again, then only stream on Friday and Sunday most likely. But yeah, for a living I'm software developer in C++ and like mainly C++. Awesome, nice. Yeah, thanks. It was some struggle to get through the study and university because I'm not that good with like learning for specific dates. I like more to like get into things and like get used to them and slowly learn them, instead of like to have to learn for some specific date and then have everything there. But yeah, I'm really happy that I've got through that. And also with the company where I work and the things I do, because it's like a small startup and flexible. So I do CMake, I do C++, we have a Java project, we have React project, like everything. So yeah, that's really nice. And then I still like it enough, even though I work and do that for a living, that I like want to put that or be a part of streaming. So yeah. Where was I? Right, just reading through those things. Oh, and what do you do for a living? Like, do you see this and everything is just strange to you, or do they teach anything about Pascal? Who was a computer science major back in 1992. Oh, I see. But got out of it. That was the last language I was learning. Oh, I think I never, like I heard of it, but I never had any point where someone used it, taught it, or like even remotely knew it very good. So I think there are some sectors where there are still like things used due to legacy and still using it, but that's definitely not taught. Like the most popular things like for beginner and learner, what they do would most likely be something like Python, I'd say. Or that also depends like in which direction you want to go. If you do web stuff or do like science, medical, simulations. So there's like big variety what you could do. Yeah. I'm in medical field now with medical pharmaceutical research. Oh, I see. Oh, that's really interesting. So that would be then also a simulation of like new drugs and stuff, or what would that, or what do I like think about what that is? I think for like the university where I studied, there was the option to go into a medical informatics direction. And then that was more like programming robots. So that is a little like what I did, but not too deep into that, which was also really interesting with all the additional constraints you have in like the medical sector. But like since I work, I haven't had any contact to those things. It's nice to work from home and stream on the side, but lately rarely. Oh, interesting. What things did you stream? For me, that's also the working at home is really great. We have like 50-50 time, so I would need to stream half of the week. I need to work half of the week in the office. Survival games and Magic. Oh, I see. Yeah, Magic's. I think Magic is also nice to stream and to watch. I get that. Yeah. Survival games. More in the direction like Ark, or like in the horror survival way, because I think there's like a big switch between focusing on like building stuff or like Rust or something like that, and just the pure survival elements thing. Astronomy Raft, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, nice. I have like Raft is definitely somewhere above in the list of games I want to play, but I just like don't find the time, because there are so many nice things, and then there come new things come out, and I feel like currently I'm at a point where I played Elden Ring a lot, and I'm close to be done, and I just don't want to play games that take too long at the moment, because I feel like I spent now a month playing Elden Ring and nothing else, and I missed out on all the other things. And I feel like in survival games, you can always lose yourself very easy, but it also is like a lot of fun to do that, right? But I think that's always hard to decide in before I'll start a game, if I like actually have the time and want to commit into that. But then I really like that genre too. Okay, maybe I read something interesting here. So they said this directory with percent symbol. I think that's the name, maybe in English, maybe not. So I wonder if this is because they like, this is also old, if that be because they call it from a different location, or if they are like using the Windows shortcut to open that directory. So maybe that would be an option to set the installation path to something like this, but I'm not sure if there's a Windows shortcut for like %userdir or something like that. Let me hide the screen real quick and see if I can do that. %user maybe? Userdir. No. Okay, so maybe add a quick search for that here. Open Windows 11 userdir thing. I think this is how I can add the sign to it. Let's see if those help, and else if I don't spot anything. If I don't spot anything, then I guess you could just take the app folder as a directory, because that would also be user specific. So that should be fine. Let's see. Let me hide again, and then app here. Just need to find the tab. So this will be in my user folder under rooming, which would be fine, I guess. So I'm trying to replicate install command through Wix. I'm trying to make a Wix installer that runs another program, actually install it to the program data. Okay, let me hide again, so I not open anything I don't want to show if I do that. I for some reason cannot actually open that. But I guess this will just be yeah, that's just program. So C programs. Suggests proper keyword. Propagates them unchanged to them, terminally confusing the installer. Did you find a solution for this? I'm having the same problem and the documentation is really hard to find. In the end, the solution I chose was to rethink how we were handling shared data on our platforms and pull it back into the directory with the executables and libraries. It's easier to manage the packaging and the results. Easier for support. Okay, so not helpful. So the interesting here again would be if this is evaluated or not, but we can check that. So let's set this variable to this and see what it outputs. So this stays. Therefore I would say we try to, how did I, this, right? Yes. We propose that, and then I think I'm done with this. So that's let this be part of that comment, and then add another one here. They propose to use updater in the path. I checked that CMake will not evaluate that directly, but I am not sure if if Wix can handle it. Ref. Okay. So then we have noted that. And then let's see through the last ones here real quick. And then I think that's like the limit, right? If I would set up everything now, I could try these things out, figure around and see what works. But with this, I think that's how far I can go, and then maybe they can give more feedback, and then I might be able to research more. So we were here. Shared read-only data under user share. I think this will also not be helpful. Simple cpack installer. This does not look like a Windows for me. Okay, I guess we skip that. When you want to go. Can I move that more in the middle? I can't. Okay. Okay, let's also just scan through. Icon, installation project. This is also like a thing with CMake in general. They improved a lot lately. Like everything below version 3 is like so different from the current stuff. And then also they added so many nice functionalities from like 7 and 10 upwards. 3.7, 3.10, that most of the stuff is just so different that if they don't have it in their documentation, and luckily most of the stuff they have in their documentation, but if it's not in there, you'll have super hard time figuring that out. Setup for local non-admin install path fails on cpack. Root folder ID to local non-admin path fails. This could be interesting. If they may be on the side of the actual problem, describe what we want to know. Additional work to follow the Windows and starter rules for per user installs. Sure, that would be nice, but we don't get that. Okay. This is just general, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm done with this. Let's check real quick if this is the same user. No. Okay, so I think I'm done with this. What I'll do is put on a different record. Or maybe, yeah, I think I want to do Enter Shikari. And then I'll just read this and see how to maybe better frame it and then post that. So give me a moment to like switch. I think it's too light to see that. Yeah. That one is like in it's like pink with sprinkles on it. This is the first like, not sure if big record, but like some songs from this one they got popular with. So that's like comfy nostalgia music to me. Okay, let's reread. I think maybe I should put that first. But found this question interesting. Maybe these information might help. Might help. Yeah, that's enough. I think this is not the correct thing to use. As it no, let's just put it like this. Okay. I don't have Wix plus CPAC pipeline setup, but I found this question interesting. Maybe this information might help. I think is not the correct thing to use. Reference node installers created with this feature do not take differentiation between system on which the installer is created and the system on which the installer might be used. Yes, so that's our quote. CPAC set destination should be set to false, and sync prediction can be used to set the installation route. Installation route, where is it? Here. but that will have the same problems as the CMake variables are always, or not always, but in this case are evaluated at configuration time. This, that, please give me the point, at evaluation time. In time, it is also possible to not evaluate escape CMake variables, but that will not help here, as the path would be here because Wix cannot, because I would expect Wix to not be able to handle CMake paths. But that would be an option if Wix, no, like I think they can figure out that, they would have already figured out that if Wix would have some keys to put in the set path, like dash dash user dash dash or something like that, so that they can replace that, I think they would have already figured that out. So let's not do, we don't need to add that, that won't help, I think. Okay, but also for the general CPAC way, I think it will only be the configure time. Okay, so I put that double. So maybe like this. Okay, so let's read the entire thing, and I think then I'm happy and I'll switch to Magic. I do not have the Wix plus CPAC pipeline set up, but found this question interesting. Maybe this information might help. I think this is not the correct thing to use because of this reason. CPAC set directory should be set to false, and that can be used to set the installation route for Windows in the general case. For Windows in the general case, that should be set to false and can be used to set the installation route. But also for the general CPAC way, it will only be evaluated at configure time. It is also possible to not evaluate escape CMake variables, but that will not help here because I would expect Wix to not be able to handle CMake paths. CMake paths. So I don't know if the default of this, which should be user, will already work, or if that does not apply for Windows. Let's put the ref in front. Here they propose top. Why did I write they propose top? To use. They propose to use that in the path. I check that CMake will not evaluate that directly, but I cannot fix. Okay, so let me turn on my spell checker. Should be on now. But it's not highlighting anything. 1 second. Okay. I think this is most likely good enough now. Yeah, so I think I will post this like that and then see if they react. And if they do, maybe I'll put some more research into like I did this here in somewhere with the general case CPAC user directory, but most likely I could actually set up an example and try things out to see what actually is happening there and what might happen if I put variables in there. But I think I'll depend that on how they react on this. So I guess let's post that. And then we can also see like the question I answered yesterday, if they already reacted, but it seems they didn't. It would be also interesting to see if they have seen the answer. But yeah. Okay, so I think I'm done with this now. Let's close all the tabs. I kind of like this. Like I didn't see anyone do Stack Overflow things before, and I like the idea to get into like any random problem or question. And I think I actually want to stick with it, where I wasn't sure. Like yesterday when I started searching for a question, I didn't find anything. But this is actually like kind of working out. But it is definitely taking longer than I expected per question, which was kind of stupid to assume that I could just answer any question. But yeah, I think I'll do that now and then. I think I don't want to do that every day, because then it takes too much time, and I have some projects I want to actually do on stream, and I want to get into that. But yeah, let me go to BRB and set this up. Okay, this should work. I think I set the category. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh yeah, I can... do this. Right, okay. So, let's just do some ranked. Let's see if we can climb a little. Oh, but I need to adjust my sound here. Can I do the... Yeah, I think I can do that now. I turned up the general volume of my microphone, of my headphones, and therefore Magic is super loud now. I wonder if I can turn that down for me without turning it down for the stream. So now it's at 35. Okay, so it gets quieter for the stream too. But I think this level should be fine. Like from the sound bars, however that's called, the sound effects of the game and the music should be about the same level. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're playing this, then destroy that maybe next turn to get double strike in. Or no, let's play this next turn. No need to be scared now already, I would say. Oh, let me check something real quick. Okay. So, we need white. Play this, see what this does. No attacks. Oh wait, this would be... The double strike counters death touch, right? Because they... that's bad. Because they will attack in the normal attack turn and don't do damage to me. So as long as I kill them with like 1 damage directly, I have no problem. So let us... Do I need to kill this creature? Creature control death hurt deals combat damage to a player that gets poison counters. Yeah, I think I want to get rid of that. And then also play the mob and make this a 2/2, and then attack this and possibly do 4 damage. And then even if this one attacks us, I can just let it through, because the it won't do poison counters. I don't like the stack of them. But I guess like with the starting hand I had without any possible protection, if you like remove my threat early, then that's bad for me. I will say I was just confused with fixing the audio, and it definitely wasn't like my problem why I messed up and not mulliganed again. So do I want this now? This will give me 3 samurais with mens. And they get 2. So they could block 1 creature and I would get through with 2 of them. So that would be 4, 6 damage. I think I want to wait with this. What I can do though, if I do that, is attach the lizard blade to one of them and give that creature double strike. But I think reconfigure is only main phase activatable, so I couldn't do that as a combat. Nice. But at least they're down to 2 creatures too now. Add it to 1 hand card. If I do this now for 4 creatures, they get 3. I think I want to do this now and stabilize. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay everything. If I attack, I make 8 damage. If they let everything through, they can next turn make 2, 6, 7, 8 damage to me. So I'll be fine with that. Because I think that the threats they might draw will be worse. Or not worse, but they most likely can get them into play quicker, where I would need at least 1 or 2 turns to be in a safe spot. So I hope that they have a creature that I could kill next turn when it's my turn again, and that I survive till then. They cannot do what they do currently. Right, okay. So this is fine to me. Get them down to 6. So now they cannot, like they could attack with everything, that would be fine with me. Then hopefully play another creature to survive, that would be an option. And then I destroy the creature. Or like something else, but I would hope for them attacking, I think. Because that would now be my best chance. If I just let that through. I kind of like this battle though, because we both have lost like our threats, or also have played all removal, and like play with our smaller, not so powerful cards here. So I'm wondering if they have something to power up their creatures. But if they would have that, I guess they wouldn't have waited so long. So I expect them to do this and then play a creature, but that may be way too hopeful. let's get this through and see what they do. Okay. Now I can kill one creature, attack with them, get 4 damage in, then play the Blade Master, or I could just attack with one creature, killing one of them and triggering this effect. Assuming they have removal. I'm tempted, like normally I would always play aggressive, but I'm tempted to play slower here this time. And just do this. And I think this was the right call, because this is already really valuable. And then let's directly play that. And then let me switch the record. Thinking about just attacking with this creature, then tabbing this one, and then I could kill everything. And in that case I would not need the other things. And then afterwards I can decide what I do. So let's do that. Tap this one. Which gives me an artifact. This? Okay. That's an interesting choice. I wonder if they thought they would be able to kill that. So let's play this, get a big creature in, and then also play this, and then next turn I can attach this and attack. Can they, if they now next turn 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, creatures, I can tap one, destroy one, yeah. Would I have won? I wonder if I would have won the round before already if I killed the creature and attacked with everything. I tapped one, I could have killed one, and then there would have been 2 creatures. Well, no, because if I attacked with everyone, I wouldn't have the tabbing available. So then I would only have 4 attacking creatures, and they have 4 defending creatures. I kill one, I only get 3 damage in. But next round, that attacking with everyone would have worked, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, kill one. Yeah, I definitely play Samurai, I think, till I lose one game. Maybe even if I lose one, I keep playing, I'm not sure yet. And I think I'm gonna, like, in general play for about an hour and then I'll call it. This is somehow fine, but again, protection is missing. But I think I go with this, and I will have a turn 2 play, right? So depending on how much removal they have and how they use it, they might waste that. I always wonder how this music, like, sounds if people hear that the first time, because yeah, that's nice. Waste your removal. Because it's... Do I do that already now? Yes. They have blue, so they cannot counter now. And if they remove that too, then we know we need to play more careful. Because like the production quality of this music is like not the best, just because it's like one of their first records. So that definitely might sound one black. We do that different. Yeah, but don't you think that the quality of the sound is less good than normally? Like, I'm not sure. Maybe also this record has protection, that's valuable. This record has better quality because it's newer and they remastered, but the originals I heard thus just don't have the quality, I think. Like, here it's already fine, I'd say, but the record they had before, that's even worse. But that's only what people, like, think once or twice said. I don't hear that because I just grew up with them, and like I more hear how that sounds live than the record. I do want to do this now because I think I'm fine right now, and I don't want a round without lands, but it seems we're unlucky here. I wonder, do you know, like, from this band, let me see, enter, sorry, you're not. Do you know that song? Because like it's the most popular song of them. So I think I play this now and then hope to next turn draw a land to play a Samurai and the Imperial Blade Master, instead of playing those two now and having to decide between them next turn. So let's use all mana we have. Oh, this is actually the song I mentioned. This is Sorry or Not. And there's like a clapping part. I do 3 claps. And then everyone on the current concert does those 3 claps and is happy. I don't like how this slowly turns out. And I thought we would be turn 2, but we were turn 3. Right. Okay, can we save this? I can definitely get my samurai back. And I have the option to protect it. And this, I think, won't help much currently, so let's go with that. And then next turn, they attack with both of them. I could still... There was the collapse. Still like win this in one turn, because I have 2 attack phases with this. So if I survive till next turn, they attack with everything. I can get 2 times 5 damage in. I think I could also... No, I can't. I don't have enough islands. No, not islands. What is... Plains. Plains is the English word. Yeah, sure. We still have enough. I see, but they don't do this. Attack with both, I mean. Interesting. But I can't do anything here, so we'll just take that. Okay. I don't like this either. Don't like this neither, right? Double negation. Yeah, take it. Okay. So, do I have options here? Can protect my creature. I can attack 2 times with that. This gives options. This is the win, right? It should be. Okay, this has flash. Annoying. I feel like I knew this already, but forgot. Like, this card seems familiar. So... Oh, they have Mens now. Yeah. Well, this was a close one. I think turning the record and then start the next. I'm not done yet with the samurai deck. These... Oh, I didn't start it. These games were actually fun. Maybe also due to stupid mistakes I did. But they were close games, and I like that. This is interesting. Let's go with this for fun. And then red mana is the second most important thing. We don't need that. I could have gotten with white playing here to when I've played all of them. be able to cast this, but now that we have the creature, the effect wouldn't trigger anyway. So let's focus a little more this time. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Okay. One more of them. So I think I wouldn't want to play this as a 4 creature. And I at some point need black, so... But no, that's stupid. Like, let that be a problem for later. I take that. Get rid of the blocker. And then let's get this in play. And attack. So we gain 2 life. When first playing the deck, I thought this combo would mean that I would get double the life for some reason until I played. But you can, like, surely only have one, only have the ability life linked, right? And if you would have 2 times the ability, that makes no sense or wouldn't change anything. So it's giving this haste. Haste and... no, just haste. Sure. So I wanna just... no. Ward 1. Oh, I see. Yeah, so this effect drawn there, what other deck do you like? I'll answer that in a second, right? Let me think real quick. Do I want to kill this with ward? I guess I do. What other decks do you like? So, in general, I like either like black, green, like playing with death stuff like that. I really like, or like big creature stuff. That, like, in general. But like I think I played most of the decks that I most like from those I have in Arena already. But from, like, if you're asking from current set, I'm not like up to date what options there are currently, but I don't like mass small creature decks, for example. One defender haste. I think I want to go with flying and then buff this creature, and next turn buff this one with the Virtue Eater of Virtue, and then attack through flying. Was it kind of answering the question? I feel like I just didn't have a good answer for that, because I'm not deep enough into the decks that are like options currently to be played. Okay, I see. Double strike. I don't like how this is going for me. Because they are slowly building up their options, while I don't get like anything started here, any combo or something like that. I'm currently thinking if I want to, like, I definitely want to attach this, I think, to the flying one. And then I thought about if I want to attack with this for 5 damage, but I rather attack with everything and have the chance to get rid of this, because I have no mana at this point. So let's do that, even if we won't gain life. And then hope they sacrifice that. With Karn, the Great Creator. Let me see. Discord. Oh, I was the one blocking the game. Arena. Yeah. Too many open windows. Okay, here I want to go. And then do this. Let's see, what should I do here now? Nothing. Okay, so Karn the Great Creator, Planeswalker activate ability, artifacts your opponent's control can be activated. I hate this effect if they block my way to play, but it's really nice to pull those off. Next turn comes an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to the combat mana cost. Can make cards from outside the game or exile review card library. And then target permanent becomes an artifact and destroys other creature types until end of turn. Okay, and what did you said the land destruction deck. Basically you turn lands to artifacts, then use Karen's +1 ability to destroy it. Or I think I just take that damage. Yes. That sounds really neat. Let me reread the card now that I know what the intention is. Target permanent becomes an artifact. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's actually thick. Double the power of target creatures. Oh no, that's loss. Nice. Good game. Oh, I was stupid. I was counting wrongly. But I guess they might interpret this as me wishing them good game. Okay. Lands have no mana value, so when the liquid metal their lands, I put on them and they disappear. Basically the land. Yeah, I see. And then do you just have or plan to have cards to get them in play quickly? Or what's like the build around those two cards then? Because like I guess there would be definitely cards to search for artifacts from a deck and stuff like that, right? Or is this then like those decks where you just stall the enemy, right? And because you're like mana-less at this point, you could just have bunch of removal stuff or something. Stall, okay, I see. Yeah, that's nice. This is again like, well, they are only rares, right? Definitely let me know, like, if you build that, how that turns out to play. Maybe I can just also rebuild and play that. A fun deck, you win once every 5 to 8 games, but a lot of fun. Yeah, okay, I see that. Like that's the same like with the Dino deck, for example, or like this control deck. Like they are not top level decks or anything to have actually a chance. But I just like to play them because when then the combo works, it's so satisfying. Especially this combo you have there must be great, I think. Because this is like a way to lose that is so, like, not unnormal, but getting your land destroyed is something I never expect. And then if it happens sometimes, even just the multicolor land destruction into a single land and stuff, that's so nice. They quit quickly. Yeah, I see. Yeah. I haven't played this deck in a while, so let's keep it and see how it goes. This was like one of the decks where... Would I get... Did I start? Yes, I did start, so this would be tapped. And I need the option to play things. And then we wait. This deck was like, I saw this card and I have another card, right, that the Theft of Sanity, that has a similar effect to play their cards. So I was just naive and thought, I get this card 4 times, I have the other card 4 times. The deck will be insane because I play all their cards. But this actually doesn't have such a good win rate. I wonder why I wasn't able to play this. Might have not paid attention. But this would be a spell, right? Counter target spell unless controller pays 1. Let's scry. And then do nothing. Oh, I see what happened. I just, because I currently not used to countering things, most likely just clicked through. Oh, how stupid. kind of want to give up this game now. But we'll give this a go. We'll see if they destroy this card, and if they do, I just give up and play another time, and then actually pay attention to the game and not play passively. With this card, like you play with pay with your life, right? Yeah, okay, let's give this up. You pay with your life the mana costs, and then can play their card. And that's also something that when I try to build the deck, didn't think about that, and I have nothing in that deck to get me more life. So I should actually rework that at some point to have like life regain in there, but then keep the intention of playing their cards as much as possible. This is a good starting hand. And then currently in this deck there's a lot of just evasion to directly damage their life points and get this card through every time, so that, and the other card too, so that I can trigger the effect every time. Let me switch the record. We're gonna listen to the record again, and then I think it'll already be time to close up, instead of now choosing another record. Spell can't be countered. Great. Off for work, heading downstairs for dinner. Enjoy it, have a great day, and see you next time. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate that, chatting with you. And yeah, hope dinner is nice and you have a great day too. See you another day. I think going with blue here. And then I think I want to do... No, I don't need to equip that now. Let's go with this. Keep the mana open to counter something. And then let's first attack and see what they do. Okay, they block. Oh, this is indestructible. I see. So I cannot get rid of that. Do I want to do something now? No, I want to be able to counter things. They will need to attack with this, and because they will need to attack, then I can get my damage in, so I'm not too scared now of this creature, but definitely of what else they might play. So I want to have mana open to counter. And I would want to play this card and be able to get more of the Dreadfort Butchers. But we'll see. Definitely want to counter that, right? Yes. That shall not happen. I hope we draw more counterspells soon. Because they are definitely on track to beating us. So, do I want to go for duplication of this card now? Or do I want to go and try grab their cards and play them? I think I do not have enough mana yet to play their cards and have still mana open, because they seem to have high mana value cards. So I think this might not be too valuable to play this, but maybe that. So I think I will go with this rather than getting a duplicate or something else. And then next turn I can attach this card, so I can attack them directly every turn, no matter what they play. And then hopefully that will give me the advantage. This is annoying, but we can prevent that. That's actually very valuable. But now I have a problem that I have no more removal. Can I kill it this way? No, indestructible. But I can block, right? And they wouldn't be able to do something with 1 mana. Okay. Definitely want... No, I don't even need to attach, so I can keep the mana open. So I can play this now because we don't have any counterspell. And I could configure that directly. So which one do I want to duplicate? I think this, because it's cheaper to get in play and then still be able to counter things. So let's attach this here, attack with everything, get 1 more of that, see what they, the Nishi Moon gives us to play. Let's go with this. And then hope they don't have another kill all creatures spell. We'll see. I would bet that they... Oh, interesting. I didn't see that they have so many cards. I would bet that they play something now and just waited for the card they draw, but maybe not. Yeah, they do. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes to discard. Okay, so nothing, just a 4/4. I think I want to do this, but I don't have mana for both. So let me definitely give this evasion. Or not evasion, how's that called? Doesn't matter. Reopen. I don't need mana to play that, so I could as well play this with haste, but that's not valuable. Let's play this. I fear they have a more creature destruction, so because of that I don't want to play those two creatures yet, because if they play that, then I'll have no options anymore. And that wouldn't be nice. It's in your opening hand. You may begin the game with it on the battlefield. You have hexproof. I have hexproof. That doesn't mean that I cannot, right? But my creatures still don't have hexproof. Let's just do that. Just for out of curiosity. They are permanent with hexproof, cannot be countered. Yeah. So I wonder if this card destroys all creature they can't regenerate it. No, this doesn't target me, so that would be general case. And here exile permanence value X or less. Okay, so how could I still win? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Drawing cards would be nice. Tapping would be nice. But they can do this again. For up to 3, so they could kill any of my creature at any point. Therefore I think I will play this and attack that. And then not play another creature because they would kill. Therefore I can let this enter tapped. Creature deals combat damage to a player, and then I'll attack this to be able so they would go down so much that to kill this creature that I can kill it the turn after, because they next turn would be on 2 and that wouldn't be enough to kill this creature. So I hope to get rid of this in the next 2 turns. Oh, interesting. I never played this against a Planeswalker, it seems, because I was confused now about the +1/+1 counter. But I guess that's also nice that Planeswalkers work.
Not ignore my draconic talents.
Good that I didn't read the card fully. I wonder if I have a chance without killing the Planeswalker. But I think I don't. Because all I have wouldn't be enough to do 6 damage in one turn, and all my creatures can be killed with their 3 damage ability. So let's see what they do. Yeah, that's bad. Like, I guess they can't kill this, but that wouldn't make a difference. So I might as well just give up. Is there anything in my deck that could get me the win or at least turn? I think not. I think I just concede here. Turn the record real quick and then play another game with this. We'll see if we get a win now, and then I think afterwards I'll play one more time with the samurai deck, and then call it for today. We have to land in theory. Counter from the start, this from the start, but we're missing black. Do I want to go with this? I think there should be enough black mana to draw that quick enough. But we'll see. Definitely wanna play this now. Okay, if a creature dealt damage this turn, the source you control would die exile instead. Interesting. Play this. Do not need to pay that, because I need black. Good that I was so certain to draw a swamp. Kind of stupid, but like I just say, it's because I haven't played the game in a while. For sure it's not me. And for sure we stand a chance now. Let me read this and then just out of curiosity. And then I think I can concede again. Yeah, I think this will go nowhere. Last try for this deck, at least for today. That's a way better start. Keep that. This turn 1, this turn 2, then that creature. Hopefully attack their life directly. Yes, nice. Then it's directly a 2-2, and we see how they deal with that. We would need more counter right now to keep this safe. Yeah, too bad. This... I think I should have waited because I would have had this card. Discards 2 cards. Do they have creatures? So I'm thinking in between those two. Let's get rid of that. I feel like this might be stalling, killing my stuff, and then putting a big drop in, which then I could be counter, or hopefully they use full mana and I can counter with this. Discards 2 cards. Oh, well, let's play that, even though they can just pay. We'll see how this turns out. Okay, so this is definitely another concede. Do I want to try one more time? I kind of want this deck to work once, but I don't see that happening right now. So this is definitely the last time. And then one more samurai deck where there's an actual chance to win. So I would be fine with drawing a black land in the next 2 turns, I think. So I can play this out right now and then maybe directly attach this and use that effect on this creature. Let's attack with both of them. And then play this and keep mana open to counter another creature spell. This is not the one that bans all of them, right? Okay, so that's fine. I can still play that. Do I want to do that though? Because then I couldn't counter for one turn. Let's attach this. This was so stupid. No, we don't need to attack here. I thought to just, you know, attack, get through, but I should have not been stupid and think about this creature being in place. But I guess I still wouldn't have played this card again to be able to counter things they do, because I should now be able to counter anything, right? Yeah. Doesn't untap. No. No, thank you. No. Yeah, okay. But this is nice. I definitely like learn to only go with the hands if I have black mana. I didn't recall that it's so much black I have in here, because I think it's some month till I play this deck last. So I definitely need to have blue and black on the hand. Yeah, let's give this up. I turn the record and then we play one more samurai game. And then it's that for today. I'm fine with that. This creature is nice and has its benefits, but it, I think, seems stronger than it is. So I like to play this first and then they waste some removal on it. But it's definitely no, we don't need that. Well, it definitely helps in many situations. So keeping the card is strong, and then when I attack with, for example, this, and it's a 4/4 and stuff like that, that's really good. But it's like really nice if they waste their removal still. It is a battlefield deals 1 damage to each opponent, and each opponent creature engages the walker they control. Okay, so this is just 4 strike 3/3. Therefore, I want to play this, and then next turn. Oh no, let's actually attack because we have indestructibility, right? Right. But then also I can give this double strike next turn. So if they attack, and I don't block, let's see what else they have. But I can attack with 6. Okay, or not. Deals 5 damage to target opponent as a sacrifice a creature. No, thank you. I'll take the damage. This is good. Wish I would have more mana. I swear normally I draw enough mana. These decks aren't laid out badly. Let's do this to have enough life to survive their next attack, and then we can play this next turn again anyway. Is this a problem? I don't have enough mana for attaching anyway, so let's accept that destruction. No blocks. So we would need to gain 4 mana. Oh, okay, we're done. Deals 4 damage if the player doesn't. You draw 3 cards. Declining is that? Okay. But still, this is like no longer winnable, I guess. Play this and then sacrifices, but I get the 5 damage. I can destroy this, but that won't help. Can't do enough damage right now, so I'll just attack. Gain life and see what they do. But I expect this to be lost already. And because I don't want to play another game after this, I'll just play this out, see how it goes. Oh, this is also interesting. Yeah, because they took them out of the combat, I don't get the life gain. That's also valuable to remember. Like, I didn't play it for a while, and having this situation to evade the effects of the samurai deck didn't happen since I played the now. Only happened, like, those things happened before. I knew them at one point, but I forgot. And though it sucks a little to now have like 4 lose streak and end, I definitely should. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm fine with that. Okay. Yeah, thanks for watching. Normally, like, I start streams with some programming, coding, or animation stuff, and then do some magic, either switch back to that or end stream, depending on how long I do the day. I'm not sure yet what I will do tomorrow, but I'll be on at latest 9 my time, which would be European Central Time. And then we'll see. Maybe I do some animation tomorrow first and then go into magic. But yeah, thanks for watching, and till next time, which will be tomorrow.